So one of the things that I think we've done a pretty damn good job of is doing a single pane of glass. How do I take all these disparate systems and boil that information and data into a single view?
That's right.
And as we look through that single pane of glass, we're looking at what, Rob? We're looking at load boards, we're looking at bookings, we're looking at route optimization. What else are we looking at here?
Yeah, so track and trace. What's the actual position of my cargo? Depending on the type of business that you're in and where your supply chain is, that could be anywhere in the world. And then depending on the scale of business that you're in, you could be talking about, 5 loads at a time, 500 loads at a time. Who knows? So, yeah, that single pane of glass becomes a pretty comprehensive kind of cockpit, if you will, of information, because you need to be able to see things holistically across all those loads, and then be able to zoom in on, the booking of a specific load or the tracking of a specific load, and be able to come up and down in that view.
So once we're able to kind of bring all that visibility into one particular place, there's also an implication on what's happening to the data at the same time behind the scenes, right?
Right.
You want to talk a little bit about data aggregation and how that plays into this too from the next perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think most people in shipping and logistics are aware of TMSs, transportation management systems, ERP systems, and with the maturity of those packages that are pretty prevalent now, you need a way to grab that data from all of those systems for those parties that are in your supply chain. So how do you aggregate that? How do you do that if you're working with 10 3PLs across the country or 10 trucking companies? You need to be able to all aggregate all of that data so that you can have the one pane of glass, because that's the dependency. If you don't have the data, you don't have the one pane. And that's where the evolution of that EDI solution becomes really important, because you need to be able to collect that data, and then you need to be able to store it in one repository so you can create, those neat tools that show the one pane of glass.
That's right.
So that's probably where we need to start and kind of talk about some of those, that flow of that data.